People may think that getting a college education is all about the grades and going to class and doing your homework and studying for the tests, and how are you supposed to do that if you have all these other things weighing so heavily on you? Even just like having a really, really bad day, that can affect everything for you, and like it's just sometimes impossible to want to focus on homework when you have something that feels so much bigger than a paper. And I think we need to make sure that we're kind of targeting each dimension of wellness, and I think this center does a great job of helping us with the part that oftentimes gets neglected in college students.
This department is like a family, you know, a family where you can come here, you can rest, you can chill, you can work. People will ask you, how are you doing? People will check on you. If you're having a bad day, this is the right place to come in. And even like in your entire academic year, if you're having a rough year as well, I think the department makes a beautiful job and an awesome job in trying for you to be successful in the way you want to be successful.
The Wellness Center does a really good job. There's a lot of different resources available. So obviously there's the counselors who are amazing and are always helpful, and they're great, but there's also the advocates who, you know, if you need someone who's like a peer, you know, not like a professional, because that can be a little bit intimidating. So someone who's a peer and maybe has some of those shared experiences of being a student and, you know, having those stressors. It really just kind of depends on what the person needs. So if you want a counselor, the counselors are great and available. If you need an advocate, if you need the nurse, if you need Mike Shines, a life coach, there's just a lot of different resources available, just tailored to whatever the person needs, which I think is awesome.
The Wellness Center is for everyone. It's not just for people that struggle with mental illness, which I think is a huge thing that we get mixed up. And as an athlete, you don't want to ever admit, oh, well, I'm struggling with like this thing on my plate, because then instead of being like, oh, I gotta take care of it, it's seen as a weakness. So coming to a wellness center doesn't mean you're weak, it just means, hey, you gotta figure out somewhere else to deal with this. Through the wellness center, we're able to separate our identity from just being an athlete. So beforehand, it was kind of like our whole mental health and like if we were doing good mentally or not is based off our playing time, how we're performing in practice. But I know personally for me, coming here, it's kind of like, okay, yes, I'm an athlete, but there are other things that are tied to me, because first and foremost, I'm Emma. I'm this person. I have these great attributes. Yes, I'm an athlete. That's one of the amazing things I love, but it's not my whole entire identity, which I think is the biggest things for athletes.
I hope that we are continuously doing a better job of kind of being visible as a campus resource and being like present, so people know that they can come to us even if they don't know what's wrong. And I think that's like the biggest thing that the Wellness Center does. It's like, you know something is wrong and you don't know where to start. I think it's a great place to just, you know, just to let everything out. You don't know you're just overwhelmed. You will find a way to kind of go step by step. What can I do right now? What is not that important? How can I like get out of that? So yeah.
By offering services like learning coaches, we have students who have a really hard time organizing themselves, learn how to like become self-aware and understand what works for them and what doesn't, and then their grades just skyrocket.
I feel like before it's all like a ball of yarn just tangled up, and then like when I come to the Wellness Center, it's kind of like we sort it out by each string. So basketball's red, school's blue, this project's green. So instead of having all this colorful ball, as great as it is, it's kind of like now they're organized in their little boxes, and I'm like, oh, I need the green string, I need the blue string.
And especially with mental health, it's just one of those topics that, you know, people might not be super open about at times, and so being so far away from home, if you just need the resource and the services, they have been helpful to me in that way.
Coming from a non-US background, like it was really hard to understand how the medical system works, and I feel like the Wellness Center really helped me ease into that, from like how do I go to the doctor, or if I do or do not need a doctor. Also like mental health wise, a lot of my friends like did not know how to use any like, you know, psychiatric help. So the Wellness Center really like guide us through how like the US medical system works.
No matter what you're struggling with, you can come into a judgment-free room and just be listened to and allowed the space to take up space. The Wellness Center changed everything for me. I wouldn't be the student I am today, I wouldn't be the person I am today without the people that coming to this center has brought me.